What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Gabacho Borracho U.S. Soccer Talk podcast. My name is Thomas Miller. My Twitter handle is at Don Thomas Miller. And as always, we have the three amigos here. We got DJ Corp. Sorry, we got Corey at DJ Corp07 on Twitter. We got Dan Angel at Dan Angel with 2 L's. 11 on Twitter. How you guys doing today?
Can't complain about anything.
Nope, doing fine.
Yeah.
Just taking time away from a vacation to come chum it up with you guys.
Yeah. Why don't you let everybody know where you're at, since you look like you're in like what's about to be a Cops episode or something.
Yeah, no, we're in a town outside of Colorado Springs for the week. Got done hiking at the state park today. Went shopping, ate some food from Guam.
Nice.
It was really good.
Awesome.
No, it was a good day, but got back early. Decided to relax a little bit today. Figured I'd take like at least 30 or 45 minutes out of my time and come talk to you guys. This is we don't get the World Cup till this fall or till this winter, but this has been fun, dude. This has been like 5 fucking days straight now, just nonstop international soccer, and it ain't stopping.
I know.
This is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it really has like a World Cup type feel. And we were talking about how we got FS1 doing European games with their announcers and everything. I mean, everything about it. These games, like, they allegedly mean something, you know. It seems like everybody's taking it pretty serious. I know there were some comments from Kevin De Bruyne, but like I watched him today. He was obvious.
After today, it's like well, maybe he didn't care at first because he was let down, but yeah, that didn't last.
Yeah.
I will say that for the most part, I have been avoiding League A matches because I've been a little bit worried about some of those players actually making good on those comments and not playing like they cared. Like Francis showing was a little bit of a red flag for me, but watching the smaller countries, the League C, League B matches, like those countries really do care, and some of them know that this is their best path into the Euros. Like this was how Scotland managed to get to the Euros last year, so they're absolutely taking this seriously because you put up a good showing in one of these smaller leagues, you don't have to worry as much when you go through the qualifiers for the Euros next year. And for some of these countries, that could be a huge lifeline.
Yeah, absolutely. The lower level like league, does it go down to League D?
Yeah, League D. So it's 16 each in League A, B, and C, and then 7 teams in League D, which does not have a path to Euros.
Right. And yeah, I mean, you've seen watching the games, a ton of passion from the fans, and I think like De Bruyne's comments specifically, and if other players have made comments, I think what they're just kind of saying is that they just came off this grueling schedule. Everything is still kind of like backed up because of COVID, the COVID year, or 2 years or whatever it was. But I think he was just saying that it's like we just came off this grueling season. Now we have to play like 4 or 5 really tough games, and like, but I think at this point, like, everybody's kind of getting into it. So like it you know, like I don't think I have not seen anything where I'm like, this guy isn't trying, you know, like anywhere really.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, catching any of the actual game time been pretty difficult. It was impossible yesterday. I didn't get to watch anything yesterday. Day before I got to watch a little bit. Today I got to watch a little bit. But this is fun. Then to top it off, you get Concacaf at night, and that's never ending. And the entertainment value. Like, you're not turning it on because you're excited to watch good quality soccer. You're turning it on because it's chaos. It is chaos incarnate, and it is glorious.
Yeah.
Like those Concacaf Nations League matches. It's like some of those pitch quality is like, I mean, would rank in the bottom half of the Mississippi Athletic Conference
Oh,
he froze.
oh.
But here, I mean, this is just to add on to what he's saying. Like, yeah, it's like
Which stadium had the haunted house?
I don't even remember now, but it really looked like a haunted house that was just like.
Bro, it was fucking haunted house. It was almost straight out of fucking a movie. It was like Stranger Things.
I think it was Guatemala who they play, French Guiana, right? I'm pretty sure.
French Suriname.
Yeah, French Suriname. It was like and then the other ones have been on like cricket pitches and stuff. I mean, it's just been wild. There was the one we were watching where we could see the parking lot, and it was like a little league baseball stadium parking lot.
Dude, it was like watching a baseball game at Remsen St. Mary's or Galen or something.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like the cars are just sitting there behind us. Like you can go ahead and finish what you're saying.
What I was saying was like some of these CONCACAF Nations League stadiums, they look like they'd be in the bottom half of the facilities in the Mississippi Athletic Conference in Eastern Iowa, and yet they're playing national team soccer there.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Like,
Yeah.
and even in UEFA, there's a few of them. Like Latvia's stadium, it seriously looks like they're playing in a city park.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yet somehow Faroe Islands manages to get a stadium that looks decent.
Yeah, I've seen a couple that I did like. I can't remember them at this moment, but yeah, I mean,
One thing,
Mhm.
one thing I did get to watch this week though was the first 40 minutes of that Uruguay match and the last 15 minutes of it. And I did watch the Morocco match. I made time for those two things. What do you guys what's your take? How do you think we looked?
I think Morocco was a great showing. Morocco's a good team. I don't think it's nothing to like you can just dismiss, beating them 3-0. Like they had their best players out there. They had the guy who just signed with West Ham, by the way. Center back. I mean, it's just like it was a really good showing. Uruguay was like really disjointed. It was kind of crazy. Both games they played them back to back. Mexico versus Ecuador was after Uruguay versus United States. They both looked really, really similar. Where it was just like you could tell it was the second game of a friendly window kind of thing. Uruguay didn't put out their best starting 11 against US, and we still kind of didn't look great. It's like I don't know what to think about that match. I think it's just a write-off, because it's a friendly. Friendlies can always be great, or we can just make an excuse that it's only a friendly. That's what's good about it.
I mean, I'd certainly rather be in our shoes than Mexico's shoes after what they did against Uruguay versus what we did against Uruguay. I mean, would it have been nice to get a goal or two in that match? Sure, but playing that kind of defense against a solid CONMEBOL side like Uruguay, you can't really be upset about that. Mexico, on the other hand, that was an embarrassment for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't take it well. There were the Christian Pulisic comments about Cincinnati not filling up the stadium. And we saw a bunch of things from Mexican fans because where did they play? They played in Arizona, right?
They did.
Yeah, they at that football stadium, the American football stadium, and they filled it up like they always do in the United States. And but then they just went out there, and I mean, there's any city you go to, there's not going to be a ton of people from Uruguay in the United States. It's a pretty wealthy country. There's not a lot of immigrants that go to other countries, So I mean, it was like completely pro Mexico, but they still just got so it was basically a home game, and they just got absolutely worked left and right. 3-0 was a score. It could have been way worse, I think, So
Dude, it was amazing. I loved it. I loved it. That's why that last 15 minutes of that Uruguay match for us. That's why that got pretty intense there for a moment. Like you could tell that even though it was a friendly, they cared. They did not want to lose that. Mm-hmm. They did not want to lose that game. And the result against Mexico, a few days earlier, that was definitely in the back of their heads. Like, hey, if we could get a point out of this type of mindset, if we don't lose, get a result. Sure shit better than 3-0.
Mm-hmm. And just to like kind of bounce it back to like how successful the Nations League has been in Europe, like I think it's like kind of a thing that, I mean, CONMEBOL and Concacaf really should think about combining, at least for Nations League kind of style thing, because South America, I mean, Brazil and Chile have been on a tour in Asia. They've been playing Japan and South Korea. Games are at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, depends where you are. I mean, they don't have any meaningful games right now. And they're teams that need it, I mean, because the only teams that have ever won World Cups have been from Europe and from South America. So meaningful games at this point to kind of set your squad if you're making the World Cup or whatever, it could be really important for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then I guess along with all the Nations League games, we have had these final World Cup qualifiers mixed in. We got a couple coming up on Monday as well. But one we did see was on Sunday this week, I mean, Wales beat Ukraine. And so now Wales is the United States' first opponent on November 21st. First of all, what do you guys think of Wales beating Ukraine? How did you see the game? I kind of just myself, like I even bet Wales, but I kind of felt for Ukraine. I mean, it would have been an amazing story for them to make the World Cup. But Wales is a pretty good side.
Well, I mean, I think more than anything, this just screams the quality of Gareth Bale. I mean, how many times has he taken Wales and done something with them that they weren't necessarily supposed to do? And I know he didn't get credited with the goal, which would have been an amazing betting day for me that day. It did take a deflection, but he created it.
He did.
Yeah. And the way the way that the season ended with Real Madrid, he's he ain't fucking around.
Yeah, it's I'm close to a lot of Real Madrid fans, and that's the big thing with him. They just can't believe that he's an example of how great he looks with the national team compared to with the club team. Usually it's the other way around. We see guys like Messi and Lewandowski, even though he got a goal today, but I mean, where they look way better with their club team. Bale just had his entire tenure at Real Madrid was forgettable, really. I mean, I think the first season he was there, he was very controversial, and I don't know if that's a word that I just said, but in them getting, that Champions League title. But I mean, since then, he really hasn't done anything at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But he goes.
I mean, his personality doesn't really fit Real Madrid very well. Like, he's not the kind of person who loves all the attention. Like, he wants to be one of the guys and be an insider with the team, and he never had that at Real, never would, and that's what he's always had at Wales. Like, he's the best player, but he fits in with the Wales dressing room perfectly. And with Bale, it's a lot like Cristiano Ronaldo with Portugal. Like, wearing that shirt for his nation just seems to take him to a higher level. It's a little bit different because Ronaldo does love on the big moments, does love being the superstar. And for Bale, it's more of, yeah, I'm the best player that all my country's got, but I'm with a bunch of guys that I love playing with. I can just be myself and play this game for my nation. And that's what fuels Bale. And we see him at his best whenever he's wearing a Welsh shirt, which, as you said, just didn't happen at Real Madrid because it was a completely different situation for him emotionally. And that's a large reason why this World Cup is probably going to be the end of his soccer career.
Yeah, that's a take. I'm very interested to see how spring turns out with him. and to see what team he ends up playing with.
Yeah.
I think that'll speak. That'll be a tell if he goes to the team that you're saying. If the storyline that you're saying there, he's going to go to a set of specific teams. And if
Yeah.
he's not planning on retiring after the World Cup, he's going to go to a completely different team, and we'll know.
Sure.
But no.
Yeah, if he goes to Cardiff City or if he makes the move to MLS, then that's a rather obvious sign that he's going to be hanging it up after the World Cup. If he goes to a team that has some Champions League aspirations, then okay, he's found a club that he thinks fits his own personality, and he's going to keep playing. So we'll see. But personally, I think that this is going to be the last that we see of him this year after the World Cup is over.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't absolutely shock me. Bringing it back around though, now we play them match day 1.
We do. And one more thing on Bale, I want to get your take on what you guys would do if you were in his shoes. Like in this situation, like assuming that he is planning to retire after the World Cup as part of this, would you go to Cardiff City, or would you go to an MLS side to try and do some scouting of the kinds of players that you might see in that first match against the U.S. because Bale's never played a match against a Concacaf side in international soccer, so that could be a way for him to help prepare Wales.
I mean,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I mean, it definitely could kind of prepare him, and it just really depends. Like, he's probably, just based on he was at Tottenham, right?
Yeah.
And then he went to Real Madrid. I'm sure he's set for life, money wise.
Yep.
If he was bad with money, that would be a different thing, where he would just have to keep playing. Or if he had like some sort of weird love for the game, like similar to like Ronaldinho or whatever, where like he ended up at like Necas or no, where did he end up? Querétaro and stuff like that. Is just like he doesn't seem to be like that. And I mean, he could kind of get a feel for a CONCACAF game, I guess, if he went to wherever he went in the MLS. But like, I don't know. The more I think about it, I think he does just like need a break. Like he's gonna get a break wherever he ends up going. If he goes to Cardiff City, I mean, if he comes to MLS, it'll be kind of a break. If he has like an amazing World Cup, maybe it will. I don't know. Maybe he'll kind of change his mind. But if he's just done with it, he's just done with it. We've seen players do that in American sports where they don't want anymore. Like Barry Sanders, an example, or whatever. And so I don't know. What's your take, Corey?
Yeah, I mean, after you fall out of grace with a club like that, I mean, I don't know. You'd have to really have a love for the game to keep playing. Trying to go to a big club and do something big. I think that Cardiff City thing makes a lot of sense, and I wouldn't blame him for that. I mean, if he's good on money, go play for your home side. Just go have fun. I mean, you're gonna be you're gonna be a rock star. You're not even asking them to really pay you. I don't blame him for that.
Yeah.
No.
Like me personally, if I'm in that situation, I look at MLS because of who Wales is playing first. Like because they're facing us that first match, I think that's a perfect opportunity for him to do some scouting. If they weren't in the US's group, I would say go to Cardiff City. But like from my perspective, like that would seem to be a perfect opportunity for him to get a leg up on what kind of competition he's going to be seeing in that first match. Because let's be honest, the way this group shakes out, that first match is huge for both sides. Like you get 3 points in that match, that takes care of a lot of the stress of getting out of this group.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I think both can't come away without at least 1 point in that match.
Yeah. And that's what you end up seeing in the current format that they have, that where like a lot of teams there's like the day one match or whatever is two teams that really don't want to lose. So it almost becomes like a tie sort of situation. But like But like I don't know where I was going with that, but I mean, it's just like, yeah, I mean, it seems like the guys who come to MLS towards the end of their careers, like they either just have some sort of amazing passion for the game that they don't want to quit playing, but they're just like, well, I can go get paid $10 million a year to go play over in the States and kind of grow my name and my brand, or it's like the best opportunity for them. And it doesn't seem like that he's interested. He has come out and said that he's just kind of tired of club play, right?
Sure. But I mean, like with the way the MLS season works, like it works really well with the calendar for this World Cup. And there are certain teams, New England being one that we talked about, where the schedule sets up for him that he wouldn't have to be crossing time zones all the time. He could stay in one time zone, play out his matches, and get a month before the World Cup gets going to recover and make sure he's in top form for Wales. So I don't know. It makes a lot of sense. I can certainly understand if you'd rather stay in Cardiff. There are good arguments for both. So it just depends.
I'd love to see him at Swansea in like the championship, just getting kicked in the shins nonstop. The World Cup. That'd be funny.
Yeah, and that's the argument against going to Cardiff is the championship.
You're in a backyard. Fucking Indiana, dude. Indianapolis. Step your fucking internet game up, dude. We can't have Dan dropping out like this. I'm calling out the entire city. So just getting into it, like, what do you guys think? I mean, we talked about it on the show, I think a lot of us kind of said that Wales would be kind of the preferred opponent. I mean, Scotland maybe would have been the more preferred one. I don't think any of us wanted to see Ukraine with the war raging on for like over a year. It would have been a really, really tough game. The entire world would have been backing them. But like when you watch Wales in these games that they played, like, what do you guys think? Do we got a shot against them?
Absolutely, we've got a shot. The key to this game, don't give up any dumb free kicks near the box. Like Wales, the way that they beat you is when Bale gets an opportunity. Like he is deadly from close to the box if you give him a free kick. If you don't, Wales doesn't really have that many ways to hurt you. So the key to this game for the U.S. is play a strong first 15 minutes. Giving up the early goal has been a big problem for us in World Cup play. And then once we survive that first 15 minutes, just don't give up any silly fouls near the box.
Yeah, I think there is I don't think it's crazy to say that a 1-1 draw is completely plausible. Like that's, if they played each other 2 weeks from now and it was in that scenario, I would probably bet both teams to score. I don't know who's going to win. They could easily win 2-1. Maybe we get lucky, but I feel good about both of us scoring. I feel like 1-1 is a totally plausible situation. I think kind of semi-piggybacking off of Dan there, it's going to come down to goalkeeping. And so far, other than Matt Turner bad moments, which would make me nervous in that match, the other two guys are such good shot stoppers, I almost don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For me, what it comes down to is like what kind of strategy Berhalter will have, as always, I guess. But like, because they dominated possession today against Netherlands. The Netherlands had to kind of sit back and do like a really skilled counterattacks. Like I think both their goals were kind of just on a break, and we're totally capable of doing that. But at the same time, like if our strategy is to like, I don't know, play it out of the back and and that we're gonna like somehow take it to Wales because like we have some sort of superiority complex, I think Wales can like really, really, really hurt us bad. You know, and I don't know, like Berhalter has come up big in some big games, so I'm assuming that he knows that, and it'll be interesting to see. Like, I think they can dominate possession against us, but I mean, if we just go to like the old school United States tactic of like a really fast counterattack, I think we can hurt them too. So like,
Yeah.
you know, I think it's a winnable game. It's gonna be very stressful like to watch, but let's go.
But I don't hate our chances. Like I said, as long as we get 1 point out of that, that sets up beautifully for the matchup against England. Like we need to get a point. We just need to get a point.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it can be similar to the 2010 World Cup where if we get 2 draws, the first 2 games, we're in a great spot because like we don't know what Iran's going to bring, and I'm not dismissing Iran at all, but I think it is a definite advantage to be playing what I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't want to downplay Iran.
In this group, you'd rather play Iran last.
Yeah, they're the weakest team in the group. I mean,
For us,
you would, except for one thing that could work against us, and that's Iran is going to be the team that's most used to these conditions.
Right. But it is the 3rd game, so like
It is.
we should be kind of used to them. Like
That, and that's the hope. That's
Yeah.
the hope. And that is why I like facing Wales first, because Wales is not going to be used to these conditions right off the bat. Like if we're smart, like we can train in like Vegas or Phoenix or some area that's going to come close to simulating what it's going to be like in Qatar. Wales can't do that. England can't do that either.
Right.
So like, I mean, we don't see these conditions all the time, but we have places in our country where we can give a reasonably close simulation of these conditions. Iran sees these conditions all the time. So I think pretty much anyone in this group can beat anyone on any given day, but I think the schedule of matches is about as ideal as it gets for the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I think, Corey, your thing about backing both teams to score, like that should honestly be just the default setting for betting the U.S. in the World Cup, because that, like, I mean, looking over the results, you guys want to take a stab at in the modern era, so since 1990, how many times have the U.S. actually won 0 in the World Cup?
Mexico won.
Yeah,
that's one of the. Yep, that's one.
2006. Okay, so we're only doing win to nil, right?
Yep, win to nil. I mean,
I believe we tied 1-0 to 0, right?
Yeah, I mean, heck, we don't even have to do win to nil. Just in the modern era, how many times have we actually held the other team to 0?
Yeah, I think it's. I think Corey said the only one. Honestly,
there's 3.
There's 3.
3. Mexico,
yeah.
Algeria.
I was going to say Algeria. Yeah,
and
that
Belgium.
Was 0-0. That's the most famous one. What an idiot.
And Belgium, because all 3 goals in the Belgium match came in extra time, so that technically, for betting purposes, finished 0-0.
That's right. Yeah.
But every other match we've played in the World Cup since 1990, we've given up at least 1 goal.
I mean, yeah, if that trend continues, it's gonna be a tough.
Yeah. So yeah, I seriously might look at betting on the U.S. and both teams to score in this one. I think a 2-1 win is very possible.
I also think the cherry on top is the fact that match day 3 is England and Wales. I don't think you could, especially Gareth Bale, like that's insta give 2 shits about this match for England. Like motivation factor,
That's true.
They can draw to us, but they cannot lose to Wales. They can't lose to Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll never know we'll never know.
That match at Euro 2016 was ridiculously intense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It'll all
Bale
depend.
came up huge in that match.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to say because we don't know. I mean, what happens in the first two match days is what decides what happens on the third match day. But I mean, yeah, I think there's going to be a bunch of what do you even call it? National pride, I guess, right? Like, because they're all part of the UK, right? But
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, another thing for Wales, they haven't been in a World Cup for like 42 years. Was it
64 years.
Man, that's gonna be rough, man. But I think we can do it. I think just the rating 11 versus 11. I think like we're either a little better or as good for sure, you know. But
yeah,
it'd be crazy.
And yeah, looking it up on MGM, United States and both teams to score is plus 450 for that first match against Wales. And
what's this? Both teams to score.
Both teams score is minus 110.
But USA is like plus 160.
USA is plus 165 to win. Wales is plus 190.
Yeah.
And the draw is plus 195.
It's worth a betting favorite.
Very, very slim betting favorite, but a betting favorite nonetheless.
Right.
I think we really need to embrace some of the things that we did against Morocco and maybe alter it a little bit. You know, I liked what we did with Aronson. You know, that him dropping back.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have like more talented guys, hopefully more talented guys available at that point too, you know.
Oh yeah, but the moments, what I was getting at was the moments where they would play the long ball, you know, maybe move it up into right, you know, a third of the way up the field, and it's Reyna dropping back, and all of a sudden he picks his head up, looks, finds Pooley, and just, you know, he's going to drop dimes. But like we have guys out front and guys that are good enough to deliver it that we might have some of the best long ball play we've ever seen before as a U.S. men's national team fan. I don't know. I think we can fucking strike lightning multiple times this World Cup.
I 100% agree, you know, and so like it all comes back onto our favorite guy, the guy we talk about all the time, Berhalter, because his strategy does not include long balls. I think, Corey, you brought up like a pretty good point that like it seems like Matt Turner abandons the play out of the back sometimes like on his own. Was that you? I think it was you, right? Like it's just like
I said these guys turn their back on him.
I love that. It seems like Stefan's so, you know, set in that Man City sort of way where it's a very same strategy as Berhalter, where it's like we're gonna play out of the back, so I'm gonna like kick it over to a wing back or a fullback, and we're gonna start dribbling it around our own box. Like it seems like sometimes Matt Turner's just like, nope, I just gotta get it out of here, and then a lot of times it works out. I mean, that's what we're good at.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I think Walker Zimmerman delivering that. I think we showed something there that you can't ignore. You just can't ignore it. Weah, dude, sending Weah out on a run like that, he is so good at getting there first. Pooley, you know, you just get him to get a foot on it, and it's an automatic goal opportunity. Like, yeah. You know, I don't think you can ignore it anymore. And I think if we can get that going a little bit and start to really hone in on that ability, I think I like our chances against anybody in this group.
Yeah.
Maybe not to win, but to at least get some sort of result.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I'm putting this in right now. USA double chance and both teams to score against Wales plus 185.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sending that.
Perfect.
6 months. 6 months. Love it.
I mean, it's like the best futures bet possible.
Oh
yeah.
No, I like your chances. I'm looking forward to this match in 2 days. You know, we still got we still got 2 more matches to go.
Yeah.
You know, and Euros is carrying on. I mean, when does it end? Or not Euros, but Nations League. When do those matches end?
So Nations League, let's see, I think the window closes on June 14th. So we got all this week to go.
Love it.
Love
Yeah.
it. It's been awesome. It's been awesome. It's fun to watch. Got soccer all day. Meaningful matches, you know, they're not just all friendlies. It's been awesome. And I guess that kind of segues pretty nicely into our picks of the week, or do you guys got other stuff that you want to talk about?
All right, so moving on to the last segment is going to be, as always, the picks of the week. And I'll go ahead and kick it off. So I got the same match has two players, so I'm just going to say both of them. This USA Grenada game, the books have under 4.5 goals at plus 165, and that's just weird. That's just looking at it just looks weird, so I'm going to play it. You know, you're betting against 5 goals, basically. Yeah. And even further, this is why I had to play both of them. That one I'm just gonna play it. It's weird, but I'm also gonna take the under 5.5. It's still only minus 115, which is it's just insane to me. I'm gonna play that with I believe it's the Croatia Denmark match. Both teams to score. Let me double check.
Hold up 1 second.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Janitorial crew is here. Tell them to not come in.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was the Denmark-Croatia match. Now, the other thing too is every play that I make, I'm also playing is just a straight. I'm playing all these straight. I'm parlaying a couple of them together here and there. But every single one of these is also getting played straight. And it's the Denmark-Croatia both teams to score. When you parlay that with the under 5.5, it's plus 273. Croatia needs to score goals. I don't think they can stop Denmark from scoring at least one. So.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the Denmark-Croatia both teams score by itself is even money. That's why I'm playing it straight.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they've both shown the ability to give up goals to this point, right? My first one. I don't have these in order as far as dates, but I'm gonna jump ahead to Monday. And Monday is the day where both playoffs will be played for the final 2 spots in the World Cup. So I'm gonna take Costa Rica to win 0 against New Zealand. I think Costa Rica's not a great team, right? But I think they're a lot better than New Zealand. New Zealand is absolutely not a very, very solid side. So I think 1-0, it could be something even 3-0. But that I don't feel confident trying to mark. So the Costa Rica win 0 is plus money, or it's even money plus 100.
Makes a lot of sense. All right. So my first one is actually going to be played before most people end up listening to this, but I am going to ride with Georgia against North Macedonia. Let's see, looking at the odds on this. I think I'm going to go Georgia. I think I'm going to take Georgia to win at plus 230. And I'm also going to play under 2.5 goals at minus 185 just to grab a win, because these two teams tend to cancel each other out defensively. They've played 3 times and none of them have seen more than 2 goals scored. But Georgia has looked really good in Nations League play so far. This is a young team that is getting better. I know from a little bit of experience from Football Manager just what this team can be. And if they win this match, their remaining matches in Nations League are 2 home matches and a trip to Gibraltar. So there's a good chance that they get promoted if they can win this match. And if they're in that promotion place, they're going to be in the playoffs for Euro 2024 worst case scenario. So this match is absolutely huge for the Crusaders, and I think they can pull it off.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
I like it.
I like it. I love the under. The under North Macedonia plays that type of style, or a lot of their games are unders, and you know, yeah, Georgia probably sneak a goal by, or maybe 2. Sounds like a really good play.
And my next play, I'm piggybacking off of that a little bit, actually. I'm staying in that exact same group and league. And I'm going to do a two-leg parlay. The other game is not in that group. So, but I'm going to take I'm going to go a little bit further down the road. North Macedonia against Gibraltar. I'm going to do correct score combo, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 at plus 165. I'm going to play that as a straight, but I'm also going to tack on the same exact play, but for Greece against Cyprus. And that's even money. And that comes out to plus 430.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's a really good payout.
Yeah. Yeah, I think North Macedonia only wins that. Like, Gibraltar's so bad. They're definitely not scoring.
Yeah.
The trick here is Macedonia going to score. Like, it's not going to be. I'm more worried about them scoring period than I am about them scoring 4.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then the Cyprus-Greece thing, I don't think Cyprus is scoring. Greece might get to 4-0 though.
Cyprus isn't going to score.
Right.
That one I worry that maybe Greece outscores that, but I still feel good about it.
No, Greece isn't that good of an attacking side. I think you're in good shape there.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good play. My next one, I'm staying with these playoffs. Touch on Peru. I'm playing Australia. I have the play I'm gonna play, and then I also have like a little teaser one that's like kind of an interesting bet, just because like when I try to think of Peru, like I just don't. I'm not super impressed by them. I mean, they're in CONMEBOL and they still got to 5th. That's a qualifying spot, right? 5th or 6th? 5th, right?
5th, yeah, 5th gets you into that qualifying match.
That's very impressive. So in Australia, they're. I mean, I think I played the under for sure. I think a lot of us played the under with United Arab Emirates, and ended up going over 2-1. But Australia, I watched them a bunch of times where they really struggle to score. They kind of have that Ireland effect where they're just like constantly almost scoring, but they never score. So I think a Peru win to 0 is the play I'm gonna play. That's plus 130. But another interesting one that I saw at the same time when I was kind of looking up, these plays, is a 90-minute tie and an under 2.5, which means it could end 1-1, 0-0, whatever. That's at plus 290. So like, I'm trying to say that I have enough confidence in Peru winning, but at the same time, I almost want to play that tie. I don't think this game's going over. But the under is it's like almost, I think it's like minus 195 or something. So, I mean, you can't really play it by itself. So that's another one to look at. It's a tie under 2.5 at plus 290.
Yeah, that holds a lot of value.
I like it.
All right. So I'm up, and I am going to reach into that match that Corey was talking about, and that is going to be Greece to win to 0 at minus 165. So I'm actually going to get a little more aggressive than that. Seeing that number, I'm actually going to take Greece and under 2.5 goals. So I'm scored at plus 165. And the reason is Greece's attack is not that strong, but they should be able to get one or two out of that. And Cyprus just is so bad on the road. I mean, they're not very good at home either, but 8 of their past 9 matches, so I'm away from home, Cyprus has drawn a blank. So Greece has played pretty good defense in this cycle. I think that they're going to get another shutout here. I might throw a small amount on a correct score play here of Greece 1-0 at plus 425. But yeah, I think that plus 165 for Greece and under 2.5 holds a ton of value.
I like it.
All right, and for my last play, I'm doubling up. Under 5.5 goals at minus 115. They just can't 6 goals. Can't score 6. Can't score 6. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous number to have as like the middle line point. I've never seen under 5.5.
I mean, It is Grenada.
Yes, but
we're talking about a team that gave up 3 to El Salvador.
Yeah,
El Salvador usually can't find the goal without a compass.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, it's not like we're known to score a shit ton of goals in a single match either. So,
yeah, we're also usually not facing a side that's as bad on defense as Grenada. I mean,
yeah,
it does make sense given what we've done, but I'd be a little bit worried.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like it's totally possible that we just blow them out of the water. Like their athleticism is somewhat impressive. I watched most of that El Salvador match, and
I just think
they're
value-wise,
like other island teams that they're just fast as fuck and tall.
I just think this is one of those situations where we've talked about unders having good value, and when an under of that type of number is that type of pay, it's worth riding with. But no, I'm going to parlay that with Ireland, Scotland, both teams to score. I know that this is probably going to be a rock fight, but I really think it's going to end 1-1. I just really
that makes a ton of sense.
So with that, I mean that's even money. That by itself is even money. That's the last play I have, but I'm going to play that under 5.5 again because I just think it's such a ridiculous value at a ridiculous number.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched Ireland play 2 straight games. Like, they're cursed. They cannot score, dude.
Against Scotland, they will.
Score. Like they hit the post.
They've never scored a goal in Nations League.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah. I mean, them against Scotland is like, it's totally possible, but it just seems like, like they have so many close chances, but they never put it in the net. I can't see why sometimes, but yeah, hope it hit.
Breaking a curse. Breaking curses.
Break the curse. Yeah, I mean, they got to score sometime, right? I mean, they've been shut out too.
They're due. They're fucking due.
Yeah.
Boy, is that true.
I'm gonna dip into Concacaf Nations League for my next one, and kind of at the start of this, a lot of teams were looking at Guatemala to be like the next El Salvador, like who's going to be the next team to kind of make that step up, and like El Salvador did this past year, and get into the octagonal that they did, and they came out and they totally laid an egg in their first game. They bounced back. They got a win against Belize. They got to travel to the Dominican Republic, who also beat Belize. But both these teams have also lost to French Guiana. So, I mean, maybe we're looking at it incorrectly. Maybe French Guiana is the team to beat. But I don't think they're a FIFA sanctioned nation anyway. So, like, not that matters in Nations League, but so the Guatemala money line at the Dominican Republic is +110. So I'm gonna take that.
Hope it hits. I'm rooting for you.
I think
I just had a really funny moment. I've been looking up the bottom right of my computer screen. It's keep saying like 10:21, and I'm like, there's no fucking way. And I look at my phone and it's 9:21, and I'm like, oh, oh, okay,
Yeah.
we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
It's only 9:30.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, I like it. I like it. Hey, Concacaf's actually been pretty kind to me for the most part, other than who was it? Was it Guatemala on the road? Yeah. They
Yeah.
hurt me. They
Yeah.
hurt me. They hurt my feelings.
Yeah. That was the haunted house field though.
Yes. That shit looked like a fucking haunted house.
Yeah. Very crazy.
No, I don't. Did you see it, Dan? When Thomas posted that in the group chat, he was like, "Dude, the grandstands look like a fucking haunted house."
I think I got a quick view of it. Yeah.
Dude, it looked like a straight up Disney version haunted house. That was the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen. Oh,
Oh boy.
I love CONCACAF.
love it.
It is pretty cool seeing some of these teams where I representing nations that I've actually been to now. Like
Yeah.
that cruise, like seeing Antigua and Barbuda or Barbados playing. It is kind of cool seeing that now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we've talked about it too, where, what is it, Guyana, French Guyana, and Suriname,
Mhm.
where they're like, the reason they're in CONCACAF is they're more culturally, Caribbean island.
Sure.
Now that I've seen them play at home, yes, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Trinidad is like right off the coast of South America.
Right, yes, but like not continental South America.
No, it's
You know.
not. But like, it's not very far from the South American mainland.
No, not at all. But having seen Haunted House and the other field where cars line the corners with headlights on watching it. Oh, love it. Fucking love it. Injected into my veins.
Yeah. And it's either the grass is so tall that you can't see the players' cleats, like when
Or straight play.
or there's just like these weird patches that the ball will just skip up like all the way to their neck. Just like a rolling ball going very slow, all of a sudden just like skips up to their neck. I mean it has its like what's that called? Like it's beautiful in its own way, It's like
Character.
yeah, it has character. It has so much character.
Absolutely.
All right, you're up, Dan.
All right. So I'm going to take the lessons learned from this past Slovakia match, and I am going to take Kazakhstan at Belarus, or at technically neutral site against Belarus, and take Kazakhstan plus 210. And if you really want to get aggressive here, I think I'm going to play Kazakhstan to win to nil at plus 350, because Belarus's attack just looked pathetic against Slovakia. And Belarus left a lot to be desired on the attack against Azerbaijan in that scoreless draw. So it's difficult to see Belarus finding much of anything goal-wise. Kazakhstan is actually playing pretty decent. Like, they had a solid attack going against Slovakia. So I think they'll find a goal here, and I think they'll find a win. And likely, sad as it is to say for all my Slovaks, Kazakhstan is probably going to beat us to promotion back to League B. So we're going to be stuck in this league for another 2 years. Joy.
I mean, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
I know. I mean, like, we have no playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we just fired our coach. We are a ship without a port right now, and yet I'm still going to pick us later in my next play. But
yeah. One
Don't
good
know
thing
how to
about
play.
staying in League C is that there's always going to be winnable games. You know, if they went up to League B, I mean, it could get rough.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah, I know, but still,
Mhm.
I'd rather play the bigger countries.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always funner to see those. I'll go to my next play, and it is lower level UEFA Nations League. Um, Dan kind of learned us about Andorra. That is a higher elevation. Sorry, words are hard. In my pick, it's like, and I believe is what you were telling us, is that like they can tie, but a lot of times they don't win. But I'm gonna pick them to win against Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein, yeah.
Liechtenstein.
Yeah, and it's only a minus 120 money line. I think it just has to do with like Andorra is like very similar to El Salvador, like you said. Like they can't find the goal without a compass. But I think they will. I think they can do it against them, and I'm gonna tag that one onto Ukraine. Ukraine, even though they missed out on the World Cup, and you know, they got to play a game that's in Poland, right, instead of their home country, for obvious reasons. Against Armenia, minus 400, but those two combined together is plus 129.
Yeah, I like that play. And yeah, Armenia is terrible away from home, so Ukraine shouldn't really have any problems there. And yeah, I mean, Andorra beat Liechtenstein the last time that these teams faced off, so the precedent is certainly there. I don't really see Liechtenstein doing much on offense here, so I really like that play.
Awesome. Corey, I believe you're up. I skipped ahead.
I have been out of picks for a minute now.
Oh, okay.
I know, but I have something cool to show. So, got Thomas a gift.
Wow, that's beautiful. I couldn't even tell that from the picture. I like that blue kind of checkered. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Beautiful. Come on, you irons.
There you go. All right, so for my next play, despite what I saw against Kazakhstan, I'm taking Slovakia to win 2-0 against Azerbaijan because Azerbaijan is terrible. Like it, that's
So bad.
pretty much what it boils down to. Like our results against Azerbaijan have usually been fairly comfortable victories. I don't think we're going to do much in terms of the attack, but I think we'll do enough. It'll probably finish 1-0 again. So, I mean, if I want to get aggressive, Slovakia under 2.5 at plus 240 looks like it holds a lot of value, but I'll probably just play win 2-0 at plus 160.
Right. I love it. For my next one, I really don't have a ton to say about it. It's just I just this we're getting in. I think these games are like maybe Wednesday next week. We're getting to the end of the UEFA Nations League, and it's just I'm combining two teams that I think are just way better than their opponents. I've been very, very, very impressed by the Netherlands, especially today. I mean, I'm really both games that I've seen them play this week. I talked about that. Like, I'm thinking about making a future for them on the World Cup. They just seem to have something that is like very impressive, and they could be a possible opponent if the U.S. was to finish second in Group B. So I mean, just seeing the way that they play, I mean, it really makes winning Group B would be, probably the only way that we get to that fifth game and get to the quarterfinals. I don't think we have really any chance against the Netherlands. They play Poland at minus 245, and I'm going to combine that with another team that's been very impressive in their league, and that's Turkey. They're on the road against Luxembourg, and they're minus 235. It's nothing. They're just way better. I think Turkey is way above the league that they're in right now. I think they're going to go back up to
Yep.
the next league, and those two combined together is just at even money, plus 100.
I mean, let's be real. There is absolutely no excuse for Turkey to not go up in a league that includes Luxembourg, the Faroes, and Lithuania.
Yeah,
Like, I'm sorry, that league is just trash beyond Turkey.
it is. It's a wonder how they even got into that situation. I mean, it wasn't sanctions, right? It was just losing games, as far as you know.
I don't know. I don't know. Like Turkey just got handed an absolute dream draw.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think my final play is I'm going to take the Faroe Islands to beat Lithuania, and Lithuania is just so poor. Like seeing Turkey drop 6 on them. I think the Faroes are a little bit better than that, and I think Lithuania having to make that trek across Europe out to the very far western reaches of the continent, I can't see that going well for Lithuania. I don't think it's going to be a very good match, but I think the Faroes will have just enough to pull that one out at plus 140.
Nice. Plus 140. Always good to be plus money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm loving that about these Nations League plays. Like these League C matches, there's so much value available.
Right. Yeah. All right. So I got 2 left. I'll go through them quick. I don't got a ton to say about them. And this is early next week as well. You know, so we're just going through. The one team in the Nations League that I've been really impressed with is Norway, with Erling Haaland. I believe he was injured. They had a chance to kind of get into the World Cup playoff in November, but he was out hurt. It's a shame that he's going to miss the World Cup, because I really think he's our next Messi and Ronaldo. I mean, they're both getting older. I think he is the one. He's going to Man City, allegedly. I don't think anything's been signed, but you know, I mean, I really think he's going to be one of the greatest all-time strikers. They're only at minus 105, and I could have just played that alone, just paid very, very little juice. They're playing Sweden, by the way. Sorry, I didn't mention that. But I'm just gonna knock it over the goal with I'm gonna pair it with Malta hosting San Marino at minus 600. Those two combined together plus 127. Another thing that I want to play every time Erling Haaland is playing is anytime goal scorer. My book doesn't have that yet, so I don't know what that number would be, but I'm pretty sure that he's going to be the one to score at least one of their goals. I'll play, I think it might be the final day of the Nations League, and it's a couple from from League A. Germany is hosting Italy. England is hosting Hungary from that very tough group. They've just been kind of been worked out, and it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of there. But I'm just going to take both the home teams, their money lines. Those two combined together plus 122.
Yeah, I like that. And yeah, I think you're absolutely right about Norway and Holland.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's been a man on a mission. He has been a man on a fucking mission the last week.
They're going to be fun to watch over the next few years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why these Nations League matches are so important, because UEFA is using that for seeding for the qualifiers for Euro 24.
Yeah, I just think it feels like Holland is taking the role of Zlatan for like these Northern European countries. You know, like he's taking that.
Yeah, it's a great comparison.
You know what I mean? And he's just gonna run with it.
Yeah.
He's reached it, dude. He's there. He's there. As long as he doesn't get complacent, he is gonna score tons of fucking goals every year.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Norway's baby blue jerseys, by the way. Their kits, I should say. since we're talking about soccer. Very
Fuck that
cool
shit.
looking. And then yeah, I mean, he just like, if he thinks there's a goal opportunity, it's just crazy to watch him. Like he's just like storming through. Like defenders they might even know where he's going, but he just like sprints past them, and then he's way bigger than them. And he's great, man. I love watching him. Sucks that he's gonna go to Man City.
That it does.
She would have went somewhere else. But I mean, whatever. So
I mean, the plus side for me is he's not there to torture Union anymore.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I'm excited. Do you have any more plays, Dan?
I do not. I'll probably have some more later on in the week, but at the moment, no. Need to see how a few things shake out before I add anything more.
Right on.
All right. Well, this has been fun. We were off last week. Hope, be back next week. Probably have another couple weeks off here sometime in the summer. But anything else you guys got, or we're going to go ahead and sign off?
No, I think that's it, man. For me.
I think I'm good. Be interesting to see what happens in these two final qualifiers for the World Cup to complete the field. But yeah, otherwise, just been enjoying all this Nations League soccer.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and let you guys go, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. See ya.
All right.